When I was 20 years old, I started to lose my hair. Like many people, I just thought, alright, I'll just take Finasteride and stop it. And for a while, it worked. But over time, I just realized that stopping it wasn't enough. My hair kept getting weaker and weaker. And no matter how long I took the pill, I never saw the before and after everyone talks about on forums. So I started digging deeper and I found something that completely changed my results. Microneedling combined with Minoxidil. In this video I will show my results after 3 years of combining these 3 treatments. I will go month by month over the results of these treatments and give you my most honest opinion about them. Just as a reminder, all the treatments I mentioned in this video I will put down in the description so you know where to find it if you want to use it. So first, let's start with Finasteride, which is the first treatment I ever used. To give you a fair idea of how my hair used to look like when I didn't have any hair loss at all. This was me when I was just 14 years old. Yeah, just a cool dude chilling with his blue drink. I don't even know what that is, but nothing attracts the ladies more than holding a radioactive beverage. But what I want to show you of this picture is the hairline. Just a perfect squared shaped hairline. 2 years later, I was already starting to show signs of a receding hairline. And you will probably say, that's nothing, maybe a couple of fewer hairs here and there, but nothing to worry about. But what you need to realize is that I was only 16 years old, so this is definitely not normal for a guy of that age, and it would forecast the shadowy hair future I had before me. Here's a better picture with wet hair and combed to the back, which was exposing my receding hairline. You can see the roundness of the temple area, in contrast to that square-shaped hairline I had before. Anyway, I can already read the people's messages in the comment section. You liar, you don't have any hair loss. That's nothing, I wish I had the same hairline as you do. Well, it's me, 4 years later, 20 years old, showing some scalp real estate. Do you still wish you had the same hair as me? I was obsessed of making pictures of my hair at that time. You start to think, is this temporary? This surely will recover by itself, right? It isn't so bad, people won't really notice, right? This surely will recover by itself. That, my friends, is what we call denial. Plain and simple. Each month that passed, it seemed as if the hair was worse, then better, then much worse again. At that point, you start to think to yourself, why me? Why did the hair gods chose me to suffer? I don't want to be one of those people that say, well, at least I don't have to shampoo my hair every day now. That's like $2.89 I save every month. Oh, and cutting my hair at the barber shop? That's another $20 I save every time I go. Yeah man, you are saving so much money. That's insane. Yeah. How do I explain this? I do want to go to the barber shop. I do want to use my hair and style it in a way that gives me a distinct personality. In the same way that dressing could give you a distinct personality too. And at the height of my denial, I went to the barber asking him to give me this haircut. At first, I didn't look that bad at all in comparison. What? Oh, wait, what's that? Nope, please give this man a reality check slap on his face. That's probably what the barber thought, I think. You start comparing yourself with your friends who somehow have all better hair than you. You start comparing yourself with how you used to look like a few years ago. You feel anxiety, stress, and you think you are alone in this. No one's there to help you. In August 2018, I started taking 1 milligram of finasteride to stop my hair loss. That was at the peak of my balding. I'm happy to tell you now that it was one of the best decisions I could have made in my entire life. But it wasn't an instant fix. In fact, like many of you, I wish to see the results as soon as possible. But it wasn't like that. Then came September. The hairs looked the same or arguably worse. October. Yes, some hairs are starting to appear, but the crown area was still showing the landing strip. It was not good enough. Let's move forward. August 2019. I think this was the first time I could confidently say, okay, I've stabilized the hair loss. It's not getting worse. On the contrary, I think I'm starting to see improvements. The best improvements with taking finasteride came actually 2 years after starting the treatment. Look at this, it was the first time in my life that I could rock long hair. It's insane, but I jumped fairly quickly from year 1 to year 2 to having really good hair. Another interesting thing is that I looked arguably a little bit younger than before. This was definitely a happy time for me. I felt confident in my own skin again. Finasteride had finally worked. No matter how you looked at it, with insane light on my scalp, with wet hair combed to the back, it was there again. That's not to say that it all came back. I mean, I still had some temple recessions, but man oh man, there's a point in time where you need to realize that the results are good enough. What else can you ask for? If this would have happened to you 20 or 30 years ago, you would have had no other option to go bald because finasteride didn't exist back then. So yeah, I was happy. My family was really astonished. How could this kid, who was clearly going bald no longer than 2 years ago, suddenly rock this insane hair? Well, you think it's all good and sound. End of the story. But no, finasteride stopped working. When we fast forward 2 more years, we get this. Hair loss once again. So I went like crazy. I was like, no man, not again. Are these products not supposed to work forever? I started to research like crazy once again. And I decided that this time I was not going to wait as long as last time. It was time to step up the game. So I started using Minoxidil and the Derma roller. And then I got a glimpse of light because the results were much better than I anticipated, much better than with finasteride before. But first, and talking about light, do you know what also uses light and regrows hair? Today's video sponsor, CurrentBody's LED hair growth helmet. Now, before I show you the cool features, let me tell you why someone would want to use something like this. Not everyone wants to jump straight into medications or complicated routines, which I do understand. A lot of people prefer something non-invasive, natural and pain-free. And this is exactly that. It's red light, clinically proven wavelengths between 620 and 660 nanometers, which is long backed by scientific studies, which I will leave in the description if you want to check them out. I especially recommend this if you don't want to use Minoxidil, because red light therapy doesn't only slow down thinning, it actually stimulates dormant hair follicles to regrow again. When I unboxed this helmet, the build quality immediately stood out. It is properly engineered with 120 medical grade LEDs. Don't you also love when things are well designed? There's an LED panel at the front that shows you exactly how many minutes are left. The treatment is 10 minutes a day and it shuts down automatically when it's finished. And yes, they even added built-in earphones, so you can listen to music, podcasts or my videos while the helmet works. In their clinical studies, people saw 123% faster growth, 72% less shedding and visibly thicker hair in around 12 weeks. It is FDA cleared, which is very important, and one of the easiest treatments you can stick to long term. And because it is Black Friday season, you can get 20% off with my code ALGARRIDO, which is, by the way, their biggest discount of the year. Link in the description. Now back to the video. The year was 2022 and I had cut down my hair a little bit. I remember the day I took this picture in the mirror and I noticed this huge loss in density here in the temple area. That was worrying and it just progressed from there on. August. Look at the crown area here. There was no denial here. I already went through that, so I was well prepared this time. But even I was shocked. Long story short, I purchased my first Derma roller and Minoxidil to start this new treatment. I even started this YouTube channel, which was called Hair Science at that time. Wow, do you like my PowerPoint editing skills? Anyway, this was in October 2022. and it's probably the worst my hair looked since I first started balding. Not as bad as before, but still, my hair was starting to recede again. So what I would do is use Minoxidil once a day in the evening, just right before going to bed. And the Derma roller, which I still use once a week. The day I microneedle, I don't use Minoxidil right after. You need to wait 24 hours, that's a must. Otherwise you irritate your skin too much. Remember, I've left all the products I use down in the description. Okay, so now I'm using Finasteride, Minoxidil and the Derma roller. What were the results? Well, here's November and then December 2.5 months later. Very good response to the treatments. And it's because of two reasons. One, I didn't wait so long this time to start the treatments. And two, I used a microneedling device which boosts the results. Not just better results, but also much quicker results. Now, many people are probably wondering what will happen with these treatments long term. Do you also start to lose the regrown hair? Well, this picture was taken in October 2022, so 2 years after starting the treatment. And then this last picture was taken this month. As you can see, the results are still there. And what will happen in the future, I don't know. But what I do know is that so far it's holding very well. And what I'm most grateful about is that these treatments allowed me to have a couple of more years of hair. I got to enjoy the rock and roll phase of my hair, and now being 28 years old, I still enjoy it. So do I have any regrets? Absolutely not. In fact, I would recommend to anyone who's going through this struggle to give these treatments a try. I also happen to have grown this community of people. We are already more than 100,000 people, all sharing their experiences and what worked for them. So guys, believe me when I tell you that I love you, because this would not have been possible without you. And to my viewer that is going through this, hang in tight. You are not alone, and I hope that my story helps you to find the courage and inspiration on what is possible with the right tools. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, I wish you a happy hair journey. Bye.